uh, we're like brothers from another mother, I felt at times. At times, but we're good at fighting with each other as well. We don't take shit from each other. We go around and aren't afraid of standing up for ourselves, and we fight like cats and dogs sometimes for little things, like a capital.
Yeah, for a capital letter. But it's all for the better of the product or whatever we're working on. We've worked on this is our first film together, you know, for the last 15 years. It's been building to this, and we've learned to kind of communicate, but we still fight very hard for the things we believe in putting together the best product that we could put out there.
And our film, Portrait of an Artist, is really more, it's many different things. First of all, it's soul searching into ourselves and each other, as well as into madness, the creative process, and marijuana, among many other things, including our music. GEwIZ is what we call ourselves, which started out as a music collaboration.
I'm glad you mentioned something about madness, because there is two sides of Issa we see, well, many sides, but in particular, Geo, tell me the difference between quote unquote unwell Issa and well versus well Issa.
You know, I don't really think of Issa in those terms. I take him as a whole person. I've seen him in multitude of mind sets and mind positions, and it's the whole person. Issa, I knew Issa when he was in the hospital for 5 years, and we would talk often, and we became friends. He once said to me that he felt, when we started, that he could be the spokesperson for mental illness. And I said, I could help you do that, being a documentary filmmaker. Because I felt that one of the things that interested and attracted me to Issa was, given his circumstances in life that brought him to spending 20 years in a mental hospital, there was resilience, there was understanding, there was insightfulness. There was something that grabbed my attention about what it's like to be human, and the extremes of who we are and how we live with different things, and how we come to terms with who we are, what makes us human. And as a documentary filmmaker, there's something I try and bring out and listen to. Because a good talker is a better listener, and it's not the answers you give, it's the questions as a documentary filmmaker. And
you interviewed Issa during a section of the Portrait of an Artist. Issa had a very sensitive vibration to his being, and he was combative, because when someone is in that frame of mind, they're probably all emotions are vibrant, all the feelings, all the thoughts, all the heartfelt connections to the world and to people. And so he was combative in the sense that he didn't really feel that you understood what it means to be a Black man, a Black mentally ill man, let alone in this country, in this city.
It's a journey. It's a journey. Empathy, I do know that Geo's got a tremendous amount of empathy. And that's something that a lot of people don't have a lot of. A lot of people, I mean, that's the one thing I think that's missing in the world is empathy. And Geo has more than most, you know. But certainly at that time, I was calling him on certain things, maybe because I was in that heightened state. I mean, when I'm in a more relaxed, maybe adequately medicated state, it doesn't matter as much, or I don't see it in the same way. But certainly in that state, I was calling him on it. And I felt comfortable enough with him to call him on, which is something that is another issue that, is another part of the puzzle. So, you wouldn't necessarily feel that comfortable with somebody unless to say that, unless you knew them and felt you had a connection with them and felt it was worth going through the heartburn of saying, hey, I don't think you understand me. I don't think I don't think you get me, because you thought you had that relationship all that time. So it's already built on a relationship.
I think Issa had an insightfulness that you see in people who are warriors, who have gone through hardships and come out the other end, and can see a timelessness, a patience, a resilience, and not taking things. Issa had at times he's had a calmness that and an insightfulness that I think was something that I felt I wanted to try and communicate. I think what I like about Issa is that his struggle is every man's struggle with their own internal struggle. We all struggle with some reality check. We're brought up in a dysfunctional world, and if we've been damaged in early childhood or along the way, we develop survival mechanisms. And those survival mechanisms work for us sometimes, and they work against us at other times.
And the thing I like about GEwIZ is that he's curious. He's very curious and willing to learn, which is why I haven't given up on him so far.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Thank you.
And why when you have that moment in that film where I'm saying, you really understand me, and I'm still trying to get through, because he's curious and he's really trying to understand. So I'm willing to go that extra yard in my frustration to help understand me and help understand what it's like to be a Black man and a mentally ill Black man in America. Because he's willing to learn, and he can learn, and he is learning, as we all are. And so it's like a reflection. I see it's a mirror. I see it with Geo, and how I'd want someone to treat me if I were from a different situation. If I just dropped on the planet from another planet, how I'd want someone to relate to me.
We can't do that. We can't do that again. You're crazy, but you don't know it. We can't do that. Yeah, well, that was good. Well, let's just play with it again. The song, you're crazy, but you don't know it. You know you're crazy. You know it. You know it, but you don't know it. No, you don't. You know you're crazy, but you don't know it. Oh, no, you know you don't. You know you don't. No, you know you don't. You're crazy. Don't you know it? No, you're crazy, but crazy. Don't you know it? Know it. Crazy. You know you're crazy, but you don't know it. You know you smell you're crazy, but you don't know it. No, you know they're crazy, but you don't know it. No, you know you're crazy, but you don't know. You don't. You do. You know you don't. You know you don't. Crazy. Don't you don't know it. Don't crazy. You know it. Know it. Don't know it. Crazy when you know it. No, crazy
crazy when you know you don't know it. When you're crazy when you know that you're crazy, but you don't wanna know that you're crazy. And you know that you're crazy, but you don't wanna know that you're crazy. And you're crazy, but you don't know crazy, but you don't know it. Yes, know it. Know it. Yes, know it. No, you know you don't know it. No. I do want to be crazy, but I don't know it. I know I'm crazy, but I don't know it. No, you know it. You really know it. Yes, you know, but you don't know it. You don't know it. Crazy. No, you don't know it.